Testing. Markus, you there?
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Jalen and Markus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights, dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Flying guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdowns, talking game day. All around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Jalen and Markus always standing by, bringing the heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Jalen and Markus always standing by, bringing the heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Tone?
I'm doing all right, man. Blessed by the best. You feel me? Can't really complain too much. I mean, I'm sure I can find something to complain about, but who gonna listen, man? Who gonna listen?
Exactly. It ain't gonna change nothing.
Ain't gonna change a goddamn thing, man. Emphasis on the T in that goddamn thing, because I don't say my Lord name in vain. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to both channels, Pro Fan Talk and Tone DeShields II. He's Markus Thomas. I'm Tone DeShields II. This is the Bald Eagles podcast. You guys know how we give it up here. You guys know our vibe. You know our energy. You know where our baldies be. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you guys stay locked in, get comfortable, kick your feet up. And listen, man, we got some things to get into. Sunday or Monday evening, rather, was not a good night for any of us. But
yeah,
you know, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to be men about it, and we're going to run into this. We're going to run into this train wreck head first.
You know what though, man? I was rightfully so. Like, I was pissed off how we lost that game, but all things being equal, we're okay. Nothing has changed. Nothing has.
You're right.
When I say nothing's changed about how we go about things, how we have to go about things, how we have to solve this issue, nothing has changed. Because again, we were 2 passes away from not having this conversation.
I thought we was going to stop doing that.
I thought we were too. But even, and that's the funny part, even as bad, the only reason we're looking at Jalen Hurts as just a horrible game was because the 4 picks. Now, 2 of the picks weren't his. 2 of the picks weren't his. The one that they failed out, the one that Devontae fell down on, and then the one where the defensive tackle dropped back in the coverage. And I just looked at that play. I just looked at the film on that play. And I will say again, and everybody will say, Jalen has to see that. And I'm like, the defense won the chess battle. They won the chess match on that play. Because I watched the defensive tackle, the right out on our left side, the defensive tackle took 2 steps past the line of scrimmage before he dropped back.
Then he came back, yeah.
Yes. So essentially, he carried out his fake. So when Jalen glances to his left for progression number 1, there's nobody there. Because as you're dropping back, you're looking at it trying to see who's in coverage and where everybody is. There's nobody there. Then he looks to the right, and I guess that was Devontae coming back on the hitch. I think that's the same play. And he didn't expect anybody to be there. It happens sometimes. Defense won that chess match. They won that battle on that play. And that's exactly what the defense does. They give you one look, and then when the play starts, it's something totally different. Now this is where it gets into kind of coaching, because that is the detriment to snapping the ball with 2 seconds left on the play clock. That's what you risk when you snap the ball that late, because there's no room to change anything. There's no room to call a hot route. There's no room to do any type of audibles, anything, change the play, nothing like that. You locked in. When you got less than 5 seconds, that's a wrap. And if you notice, most of the defense that we're playing, they make their moves, they make their shifts, they drop back into coverage when there's 3 seconds left on the clock. Eagles gotta snap the ball now. So they win that advantage. That's something that we could change up. That could be schemed out. But that was just one aspect of it, man. And then when you look at it, the 4 turnovers is a fluke. The 4 turnovers is a fluke. The whole, everybody keeps saying the same thing. How do you have turnovers in one play? Well, that's very easy. I'll tell you how. The guy dropped back. We didn't see him. He fumbled the ball, and by the time Jalen recovered the fumble, he didn't get a grip on it when somebody swiped him. That's the way it goes sometimes. That is what you call a series of unfortunate events. And it bit us in the ass this time. It was our turn.
Mm-hmm.
So, but ultimately, Jalen said it in his press conference. I said it after the game. In spite of all of that bad play, we still had an opportunity to win. In spite of that bad play by Jalen, and in spite of arguably his worst game as a pro, in my opinion, his worst game as a pro.
Yeah, that Jets game comes pretty close.
Yeah. But he dropped 2 dimes that should have been caught
to win the game.
He dropped 2 dimes that should have been 14 points. And again, you are 2 inches from a totally different conversation. Both of those drops, AJ should have had. The first one hit you in the hands. AJ, I need you to sell out a little bit for that one, bro. Leave your feet. Do what you got to do. That second one, AJ should have caught it, but I'm going to give him grace on that second one because I think that DB just made a hell of a play by pulling his arm down. That's just how I see it. Everybody will see different because the rule is in the league, if it touches your hands, you're supposed to catch it. But I thought that was a great play by the DB because he was beat, but he got his head in there and he got his hand wrapped right around where where AJ's elbow was, and he gave it a yank, and that just kind of disrupted his rhythm of catching the ball. It bees like that sometimes. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with what I saw from the running game. I still got pissed off because they kept trying to run inside the tackles in the second half.
What
when
pissed me off,
bouncing outside was paying dividends.
I think what pissed me off when it came to the running game, to your point, I agree with that. But I think one particular moment in the game that pissed me off the most was Saquon Barkley takes us to the house 50-plus yards. Your next 3 plays are all passing plays, and you throw an interception. Your running back just broke his longest run of the year. He's feeling confident. Everybody, what that run did to the offense they looked like a team that was like, thank God.
Yeah.
The way they celebrated for that touchdown, and watch it back if you can.
I saw it. They were waiting for it.
The way they celebrated for that touchdown, they looked like they were celebrating like they was lost in the desert for weeks, and they found
finally got that glass of water, man.
They finally got that glass of water. They were celebrating like that was the game winner because they've been grinding all season long just to have that one. And what does Kevin Patullo do? He takes the ball out of Saquon's hands for 3 consecutive plays. And next thing you know, Jalen Hurts throws an interception. Now, granted, you don't want to throw an interception, obviously.
Right.
But my problem is not understanding the assignment continuously. Putting your team in position to fail. And don't get me wrong, you guys. I'm going to address Jalen Hurts specifically. I ripped Jalen Hurts after that game. There was no other way to approach it, in my humble opinion. You turned the ball over 5 times. One of them, I throw you a mulligan because it was a fumble on a bang-bang situation. I throw you a mulligan. You turned the ball over 4 times. Granted, A.J. Brown dropped the ball. He should have caught it, but you turned the ball over 5 total times. Let's just call it what it is.
The A.J. drop, because watching that play again, A.J. brother hit you in the hands.
I think he short-armed it a bit.
No. And again, I watched the tape and I looked very closely. If you look at that play, that Jalen had pressure in his face when he threw that ball. Literally, when he's following through, he gets a shoulder pad right on his shoulder.
Yep. And
with his arm just enough to make that ball
hung up a bit.
He did not drive down on the ball. But even then, it hit AJ in the hand.
Like this. Hit him right here.
Yes.
You got to catch that.
And AJ has caught worse balls than that.
And that goes back to what I said the other night. I thought they called you 1K always open. I thought you was always open.
And he was open.
I'm not even trying to be facetious. I'm not even trying to be petty. I'm an AJ Brown dude. I've been defending him. So I carry it different. I feel like as much as I carry it for this team, as much as I carry it for Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, I got the right to call some shit out if I see it. Jalen Hurts dropped that ball in the bucket more than one occasion.
Yeah.
More than one occasion. A money ball. A gotta have it ball. You told us you built for those moments. You told us you want the ball in those moments. Let's call a spade a spade. He said that. We going off what he said.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what's funny? He had his T.O. moment. Do you remember when T.O. became T.O.?
Refresh my memory, big dog.
He was with San Francisco. And he wasn't T.O. yet. He was just Terrell Owens, and he was good, but he was a young receiver. And he had a horrible game. He had like 3 or 4 drops. And finally, Steve Young hit him in the end zone, and he caught the ball. San Francisco wins the game.
Hold on real quick. I'm sorry. I got to adjust this real quick. I'm so sorry. Marcus. Can you bring up Chris 3KO, please?
Yeah, that's my guy, Chris.
Yeah, shout out to Chris, man. Shout out to Chris. We appreciate you for liking on the content. We appreciate you for supporting the channel. We appreciate you for investing in the show the way you do. I'm sure you provide super chats. I'm sure you lock in on every stream. We appreciate you. We appreciate your patronage. I say that to say, a catch. You see, Chris, a catch is singular. A catch is singular. You got to be mindful when you quick the right in these chats. A catch is singular. I believe AJ Brown missed 4 money balls from Jalen Hurts the other night. 4. Maybe it was 3. But it damn sure wasn't a catch. It wasn't singular. He dropped probably the most important balls of the night consistently. And we're talking about a guy that we know and love. A guy that we know can get it done. A guy that we know has all the talent in the world to run with the best of them. Let's call it. Let's stop bullshitting about this now. The Eagles are 8-5 on a 3-game losing streak to teams we deem as inferior. Stop it. Let's stop pussyfooting around this. Let's stop acting like these guys are above reproach. Y'all know how I carry it here. I carry it. I carry it strong with this team. Look behind me, Jalen Hurts artwork. I carry it with this squad. I can't wear it on me. But let's keep it real. They did not show up on Monday. And the person that told us he told us he want the ball in the biggest moments. When all else fails, give me the rock. He said that. So therefore, when all else failed and it was time for you to catch that game-winning ball, you dropped it. When it was an opportunity for you to catch that touchdown and go ahead, you dropped it. When Jalen Hurts threw you a ball up the middle, you dropped it. Every ball not going to be perfect, but he threw you 2 perfect balls in the end zone. And you didn't come through. So, again, we're going to get to Jalen Hurts, and he's going to feel my wrath as well. And look, who am I, right? I'm just a content creator on YouTube that do this as his second job. I just like to have fun with my guy Marcus and do the content I know and love. I live for this. I'm not in the locker room putting in the work. I'm not on the practice field putting in the work. I'm not in the film room. I have no idea what these brothers go through. I'm going to make that very clear. I don't approach this content game from a perspective of privilege or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't approach this content game like they owe me something. They don't owe me nothing. They don't owe me nothing. These guys put in work. Marcus put in work in this league. Multiple leagues at that. I will never sit here and pretend I know the game better than Marcus. I lean on Marcus's expertise consistently. And so, and for the most part, when he say, hey, listen, Tone, hear me out on this. I'm saying this because I know this. I pull back because I trust Marcus. I trust his intellect. I trust his intuition. I trust his experience. But I'm sorry, when I saw what I saw in that game, and that defense doing what they was doing, and that offense letting them down the way they have been all season long, I'm not going to sit here and pussyfoot around it. I've been giving it up for 5, 6, 7, 8 straight weeks saying, give him time, y'all. Give him time, y'all. Marcus, am I wrong?
Nah.
I've been holding it down for several weeks. Give him time, y'all.
But also, people got to understand, man, this is a one shot. What do I always say, Tone? Every game is a season. Every game is different.
Yes, it is.
Every game is different because I see a lot of people in the chat, and what they say is, well, AJ shouldn't be talking as much if he gonna drop the balls. Well, wasn't nobody saying that at the time he was talking.
I didn't have no problem with him talking, as a matter of fact, because everything he said was correct.
Everything he said was correct. This is a one-shot deal because guess what? I'm expecting AJ to have another 8 targets against the Raiders.
And I expect AJ to catch those balls. And let's make that clear. I'm not giving up on AJ Brown. No, I'm not one of those people who want to trade him. I don't want to trade AJ Brown. I'm gonna make that real quick. I want to make that clear, Marcus. I'm not one of those people that's on these radio stations, on these television sets, talking about trade AJ Brown. I would never trade AJ Brown.
No,
I'm not. Antonio DeShields Jr., your boy, Tony DeShields II. I would never, ever trade A.J. Brown. I understand what A.J. Brown can do. I know he's a killer. He's an assassin. But unfortunately,
he had a bad game.
He didn't bust his gun on Monday.
He had a Tone. I'm going to have to get T-shirts made. Everybody get a turn. Everybody get a turn. Watch this, Tone. Let me show you this. Hold on.
For sure.
Let me share this.
And the reason I'm giving this, why you pull that up, I'm giving y'all this passion. I'm giving y'all this passion because I had a chance to actually sleep on this. We were supposed to go live yesterday. You know, our normal Tuesday 7:30 slot, but I had some things come up work-wise that extended further than what I expected. So I had to hit up my man Mark and say, hey, can we do this on Wednesday? Can we do this on Wednesday? He said, got you, brother, no problem. We here now. I had an extra day to sleep on it. I had an extra day to really get my ducks in a row. And I thought about this. I'm like, hold up. I can't excuse this shit. I can't excuse what I saw when the defense is continuously putting you in position to win games. I cannot excuse it. I can't pretend like I'm not saying what I'm saying. I can't pretend like the man that told us he wants the ball in the biggest moments didn't show up in the biggest moments. I'm not going to pretend like I ain't see that. But that doesn't mean I don't believe in A.J. Brown or Jalen Hurts. That doesn't mean that. That just means that I'm calling them out for that game because I got to call it how I see it. How can I defend that? As much as I love these guys, as much as I support these guys, buy the gear, spend the money on the tickets and the travel and go. As much as I love these guys, how can we definitively defend what we saw? That shit was so bad. They took the pressure they let Kevin Patula off the hook. That's how bad it was.
Hey,
That's
Tom,
how bad it was.
How many turnovers Jalen had? How many interceptions did Jalen have? 4
in that game. He had 4 in that game.
4 picks.
Yeah.
How many turnovers is Jalen? How many picks does Jalen have on the year?
After that game or prior?
6.
6.
Yes. After the game, he's got 6. 6. That's it. Everybody gets a turn. But this is what I want to let everybody know. Jalen had his game. Jalen had his stinker. He had the deuce. He had to flush. Remember, he had that game last year when he said he had to flush it. All right. So Jalen had his game, 4 interceptions. Okay. Let's look at Sam Darnold in Seattle. Wow. Against the Rams, he threw 4.
He did. Real quick. Because I like where you're going with this, but real quick also. The past 3 weeks, this Eagles offense or this Eagles team has turned the ball over 9 times. 7 of those turnovers came by way of Jalen Hurts in 2 weeks.
Yo, your microphone is sounding distorted.
Testing. How about now? You got me? Testing, you got me?
It keeps going back in. Hold on for a second.
Hey, you guys, let me know if my mic is
yeah, it's still distorted. For some reason, it sounded distorted.
Mimi says I sound good. Cam McBeth says sounds good to me.
Maybe it's me.
Ty Baby says I hear you fine tone. So yeah, I'm not sure. Can you hear me now?
It might be on my end.
Okay.
I can still hear you, but it just sounds distorted to me.
Is it like
So let's assume that's just me.
Okay. All right. But yeah, 7 turnovers in 2 weeks by Jalen Hurts. What's going on? Like, I'm not, and I'm not a Sam Darnold guy. Don't get it twisted. I'm not a fan of him at all. But 7 turnovers in 2 weeks by Jalen Hurts, a guy who doesn't turn the ball over. He got to wear that.
And 2 fumbles.
He got to wear that.
He does. But the reason why I was bringing that up was I go back and looking, and right now I'm looking at Josh Allen.
Oh yeah, Marcus,
right?
You frozen too, by the way. You frozen.
Josh Allen has. Here we go.
Yeah.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine, but you're just frozen. That's all. And I don't have any overlay in front of me.
Yeah, hold on for a second.
No problem. If you need to back out, I'll hold it down while you jump back in.
Yeah, because my mouse is going nuts and everything going crazy.
All right, no worries. If you want to square it away, I'll hold this down.
Yeah, let me jump out and jump back in because there's a chance that my system is about to crash.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, let me jump out.
So yes, while my man Marcus gets his ducks in a row, shout out to him. He gonna get it handled. Marcus has one of the best setups I've ever seen, so it's kind of weird to have stuff acting up. But let's go back to what I was talking about, though. Again, make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Pro Fan Talk. Make sure you guys are subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports. He's Markus Thomas. I'm Tony. This is the second. This is the Bald Eagles podcast. Let's jump right back into it. I have nothing but respect for these brothers. They put in a lot of work. They've delivered something to the city that we ain't seen since 2017, 2018. They put in a lot of work. They did something that a franchise quarterback didn't do. They did something McNabb and T.O. couldn't do. They did something McNabb and T.O. couldn't overcome. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this Eagles team, this Jalen Hurts-led team won a Super Bowl, brung home the Lombardi, Super Bowl MVP. Saquon Barkley, reigning Offensive Player of the Year. A.J. Brown, multi-time All-Pro and Pro Bowler. Like, this offensive line filled with Pro Bowlers and so on and so forth and all pros. We know what this team has done. We know what they've been able to accomplish. So I don't want to act like I'm having revisionist history or I'm being ungrateful, because sometimes players get in their feelings and then they act like you can't say shit. Let's call it what it is. And I'm not saying these are those guys, but sometimes your voice carries further than you think. And sometimes these guys will respond to you on the socials. It's happened to me before. So what I'm trying to say is, although I got mad love and respect for these dudes, and I'm always going to treat them with respect, let's call it how we see it. Let's talk about what we saw. Let's talk about what happened. A.J. Brown, despite getting his numbers, was not reliable on Monday night. He had his moments, but when it came down to it, Finito. Jalen Hurts, 5 turnovers. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. I can't defend that. These guys on television, these guys on these radio stations and so on and so forth, he threw a steak to the Lions. He doused himself in kerosene. He doused himself in kerosene and lit a match. So again, this ain't got nothing to do with love, hate. This ain't got nothing to do with disrespect. This is about just acknowledging the results, right? They were so cold, they were so out of sorts. They took the pressure, they took the eyes off of Kevin Patullo, and I think Kevin Patullo was awful, by the way.
Can you hear me, Tone?
I can hear you loud and clear, big dog.
All right, bro.
What was your thoughts on Kevin Patullo's game? It got to a point where I was predicting the form. When I saw formations, I was like, okay, they're doing this or that.
Yeah, I thought it was up and down. He had a couple of good wiggles in there that they weren't expecting, and it paid dividends.
Or
the passing tree was a little bit better, but then we go back to we 3rd and long and we throwing screens.
Yo, glad you said that. That's another thing that threw me. You at 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 11 on 2 separate occasions. You threw a fucking bubble screen. Throw the ball down the field. You need 9 yards. Why are you throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage? That's counterintuitive to me.
You know what? And it's not even the screen. It's how they set it up. You throwing the screen over there.
And you don't get the numbers game. You don't get the numbers game.
You get 2-on-1 because you got 3 DBs and 2 receivers, and one of those receivers is the receiver. He's getting the ball. Right. So you got 1 blocker and another 2 DBs, and you got the smallest skill position. You got Devontae Smith at 170 pounds trying to break tackles.
And there was another one where
that's not gonna work.
It was 3 DBs, 2 blockers, and the ball carrier. They're not. He's not even setting them up for success with the plays we don't like. It'd be different if they were successful. And we say, I still don't like these plays, but they working.
Well,
but you're not winning. He can't even do math.
So that was just, in my opinion, I didn't like those plays. Then there was Saquon got the ball, and the DB came flat down the line of scrimmage. The DB came up to the line of scrimmage, and the tight end was supposed to block him. He crashed hard down the line of scrimmage and went right for Saquon, which means he knew what play they were running.
Exactly.
He knew Devontae Smith went in motion away from the play.
So obvious.
He came down the line of scrimmage, and he damn near got to the ball before Saquon got the handoff. He knew exactly where the play was going. And I'm like, those are the plays that we got to get rid of. We still don't pitch Saquon out. We still don't do skinny pitches. We don't set anything up like that. And we need to start doing it. But that's the biggest gripe I have with Patullo. And we need to mix it up, go from under center a little bit more when we run and pass, and this is the one thing I want to show, the play action pass was working because of Saquon. The linebackers were taking 1 and 2 steps up, which created all of that space in the mid to deep middle of the field. That's why we were killing them on that. The play action was working. They had to respect Saquon. We haven't had that. Now, when they was running out of gun and still do that play action fake, don't nobody fall for that no more. Mm-hmm. They got to do it from under when Jalen is under center. So they need to just go ahead and put more plays with Jalen under center so he can drop back and do a 7-step drop and see what he can see and get rid of the ball. Because that aligns with what we're trying to do. If he's got to get out of there, you can schedule runs. You can still schedule RPOs and things of that nature. You can still do it because it's better from under center in play action. The linebackers have to respect where you're going because they see that ball stuck out there. So they're going to have to make a move. That type of stuff was working, and then we got away from it in the second half. Saquon had what, 5 carries in the second half? After 15 with like 110, and he ended up with 120 carries with like 20 something yards or whatever it was.
Let me double check this.
There's still some. I agree with a lot of people that say it's not all on Kevin Patullo, because you know how I feel about execution. I don't care who calls the plays. If you execute like you're supposed to, the play is going to be successful. However, sometimes
Saquon, 20 carries, 122 yards, averaging 6 yards a carry.
Yeah, sometimes you got to win that chest battle, and we haven't been doing that all year. So, and again, we still got 4 weeks.
They got away from Dallas Goedert, who was always open all night. They couldn't guard him. They couldn't stick with Dallas Goedert. And
Dallas Goedert is hot and cold to me, because for every great catch he makes,
yeah, I can see that.
His blocking is trash.
I can see that. Yeah, at this point, yeah, his blocking has fell off, especially after the injuries. His blocking has fell off.
And we need a blocker in there to get Saquon going. We need Latu should not come off the field. They need to teach him how to catch, whatever they got to do to get him involved in pass patterns so he can help out the offensive scheme. I don't want Calcaterra in there. I used to be a Calcaterra fan, but
same.
I did not realize last year how bad his blocking was.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, it doesn't help when, and shout out to my man Malik Carter for reminding me of this. It doesn't help when Missy Elliott is back, y'all. Just want to make sure y'all know that. It doesn't help that Jake Elliott missed an important field goal in that game. Granted, at best, that ties the game based off the result. But I just feel like this team, I just feel like they're cooked offensively, bro. I don't think they trust or believe in anything that that's being taught to them in these rooms.
No, they believe in it. Like, did you notice throughout the game? And this is the first time I had seen it like this. Jalen Hurts was launching them.
I was actually about to ask you a question about that.
He
Jalen looked like he
going hard.
I'm glad you brought that. I was thinking about that while you was going. I don't know if me personally, he was throwing that ball with the velocity I ain't seen him throw it all year.
Exactly. He was,
and I'm curious about
that ball, man.
I'm curious about that because we've never seen him with these amount of turnovers, and I personally feel like he was getting a little hasty back there. A little. I didn't see a guy that was in full control.
Well, no, but that's Tone. That's natural. When you down like that and you struggling like that, you press. Doesn't matter what position you play, you press.
And that's what it looked like. And then in that overtime, you had him on the ropes. They was feeling the pressure. You was moving the ball methodically. You had all the time in the world. You had all your timeouts. You got to the first. They even gave you a mulligan with the encroachment, with the neutral zone infraction. And first down, you try to go for the gusto. They got greedy on that last play.
I don't agree. I don't think he got greedy. I think Jihaad Johnson was open, and that DB made a hell of a play, reaching back. He reached back and got a finger on the ball, and the other DB that was covering Jihaad, who was beat, just happened to come across at the right time. Didn't who was that? Reed Blankenship? Didn't we have a pick like that against Dallas? Where we blocked the ball and Reed Blankenship came right behind him. He was in the end zone. It was a very similar play. I think it was Dallas.
But here's my problem. Jalen Hurts somebody who's very calculated in how
What did I just say about pressing?
So
if a running back is pressing, what does a running back always do? He tries to bounce everything outside because he's trying to hit a home run.
I'm sorry, Marcus. I stand by it. I think he got greedy. I think he pressed on that last play.
Well, no, I'm not. That's not up for debate. He did. Right. I'm just saying I thought that was a good shot because from my perspective, I understand what he saw and why he threw it. And again, I credit the DB. The DB made was that a linebacker? He made a hell of a play. The dude jumped backwards and got his finger back in the nick of time. If Jalen throws that ball a half second earlier, it's 1st and goal on the 1. So I don't mind that. Could he have hit Dallas Goedert right there? Yes, he could have. But I understand what he saw and why he threw it, because Goddard was open and that linebacker was maybe 2 yards behind him. So when I'm looking at the play, I don't think he's got a chance to get his hands on the ball either, but he did. So for me, that was a great play by that DB. And then the guy that was actually covering Jahan Dotson was at the right place at the right time. DB's like that sometimes.
I'll admit, it was a great play. It was a great play. But guess what? The result was the result.
Yeah, it was.
And you ended the game with 4 turnovers. Like, it didn't look good.
That's the way it goes. That's the nature of the beast.
That's
the nature of the beast.
And he even had space to run if he wanted. Like, me personally, and is overtime. You know you have to score. Ball security was everything on that drive. More and he gambled when he didn't have to.
I don't think that was a gamble. We'll agree to disagree on that one. I don't think that was a gamble. Was that a tight window? No. Hell, if anything, the ball he threw to AJ, that was a gamble, because he threw that in between 2 people. The pass that everybody is loving that he threw to Devontae Smith, that was a gamble because he damn near threaded the needle, and he put some gusto on that. But he threw a perfect ball. That, in my opinion, that was not a gamble. I understand what he saw. The DB or the linebacker just made a hellified play. I didn't think that was greedy. It's only it's good until it isn't.
That's very true.
Tush push is a great play until somebody stops it. It's the same thing. We just didn't make the play, and the dude got a hand on it.
To your point, ultimately, it's always the result that we criticize more than the actual play itself of the decision.
Was that a gamble on the first play of the game?
Wait, what was the first play? What they went deep?
The drop by AJ.
Yeah.
That was a gamble. The first play. So it happens all the time. The way it manifests itself is going to be sometimes different. And I'm not absolving Jalen of anything.
Yeah, I think that
the results are the results.
I just think it compounded. It's been compounded for me.
I agree.
And my patience is growing thin, and my grace is growing thin as well. And in that situation, I'm moving the ball methodically. I will nickel and dime your ass if you ain't stopping me. Like, they wasn't stopping him. And I think that was the longest throw of that drive or attempt, right? You know, like, look, man, this shit is disheartening, frankly, and it makes it difficult to talk about the things that we liked about that game. I lost your audio, big dog. I can't hear you.
Dagger, you are 100% correct. Khalil Mack was in his face. So again, he didn't get enough mustard on that ball than he should have, because he had pressure. So again, checkmate to the defense. But
look,
here's what it is.
It is what it is.
We could go back and say if Jake Elliott makes the field goal, we're not having this conversation. If AJ catches the ball, we're not having this conversation.
Or if Quinyon Mitchell doesn't get pass interference on that third down.
If Jordan Mailata doesn't get the holding call, which was bullshit. We're not having this conversation. So there's always, to me, that will always be the silver lining. Because everybody is Jalen sucks, Jalen sucks, Jalen.
I'm not there. I'm not there with it. Just to make that very clear to everybody. That's not.
I'm being facetious with it, but
no. People
that's
are
the overall.
That's the thing.
Sentiment.
Right.
But at the end of the day, Jalen threw enough balls that should have been caught
to win that game.
And touchdowns that shouldn't have been called back to win the game. As bad as he played. Man. It happens like that. What else you want to say?
I think where I get pissed off about it is like when we say it happens like that. Okay, all right. I can live with that for a couple games. I could live with that for a game. I could live with that if hey, that was just a good game. This team has been consistently, the offense in particular. Let's make sure we're talking very strictly about the offense. This offense has been abysmal all year long. Have they had halves? Yeah, but that don't matter to me anymore. It doesn't matter to me anymore. They've been awful all year long. So I'm sorry, like, I don't have grace to be able to. I'm gonna be very transparent with y'all. Some content creators probably won't give it up like this. I don't have enough grace left to be rational with these guys. I'm gonna be totally frank with y'all. I ain't got enough grace to be rational with these guys. Here's a
player's comment for you. Yeah, your grace is not required.
Yes, and that goes back to what I said earlier. That ultimately, they don't owe me nothing.
Yeah,
they don't owe me nothing. Like I understand my position so well. Like, but I also have a responsibility to just be honest, right?
No. That part I understand. But let me ask it to you like this.
Yeah.
Just as a guesstimate, and you can give me any number.
Okay.
How many hours of film do you think Jalen watched last week?
From the previous game?
Yeah. How much film, if you could put a number on it, how many hours of film do you think Jalen watched of the Chargers?
If I had to put a number on it, I'd probably say, knowing him, probably between 15 to 20 hours of film.
You sure about that? So what you're saying is you are confident that he put in the work last week too.
I'm never not confident that they're not putting in the work. I think what frustrates me is like it's futile. It's been futile. No, and that sucks.
But that's my point. That's exactly my point. You know they're putting in the work. You know, and I've said this before. Do you think in practice they work on jumping off sides?
Right.
Do you think they work on holding? Do you think AJ Brown is working on dropping balls in practice? No. They put in work. They put in study. AJ Brown is catching balls all over the place on his knees, 5 feet from the jugs machine. They doing all of the same stuff. But sometimes the things don't go together. It just doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of those times. Jalen said it perfect. How do you respond? How do you come back to that? That's what you want to know. Now what can you pull positive? There's lessons in loss. What did we learn against the Chargers? Well, we learned that some of those offensive plays, we figured out how we can get Saquon started. Can we take the good from that and go forward with it next week against the Raiders? Can we take some of...
I lost your audio again, big dog.
Yeah. Can we take some of those balls last week against the Chargers and catch those against the Raiders? Everything that went wrong, can we flip it? Because to me, a drop ball isn't wrong. That's not wrong. There's nothing wrong with a drop ball, except you shouldn't drop balls, especially when they hit you in the hands.
Especially when they're for the game.
Correct. So it's not about right or wrong. It goes back to that word I keep saying, execution. Execution. Some of them plays I saw with Tyler Steen and Fred Johnson, bruh, not good. For every time Saquon was going off to his left, outside the tackles, every time he was doing that, they'd run another one up the gut, and he'd be trying to make folks miss to get back to the line of scrimmage. Standard procedure. It's like, all right, we've seen what we can do when we go here. How come we're not going back there again?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen what we can do when we get receivers in the middle of the field. Jalen can throw it in the middle of the field. He's shown us this for the last 2 weeks. It's the other things that we clean up a mess over here, then somebody spills something over there. We clean that mess up, then somebody done spilled something over here. It's like,
what is that a result of?
That is a result of bad luck and concentration. Because I go back again. Do you think that when they were going in practice, I asked you about Jalen Hurts, how much film did he watch? How many balls did A.J. Brown catch in practice last week? Do you think they're not throwing him the balls? Do you think he's not working on his craft, trying to get better? Of course he is.
14.
But what happens when you're in the midst of it? That's the breakdown. That's the mental breakdown. What I done seen A.J. Brown catch shit one-handed.
Yeah.
Over his back.
Yeah.
I done seen him shortchange it, catch back shoulders. I done seen A.J. Brown do some incredible things while catching a football. But all of a sudden, do you think he just forgot how to catch?
And
no.
I don't buy that, right? So I think I'll say this, right? Because I do want to move the conversation forward. They have 4 games left.
4 weeks. You got a month worth of football.
They got Raiders, Commanders, Bills.
Raiders, Commanders, and who's the third one? Because we played the Commanders twice.
Bills.
The Bills. Okay.
And
don't let me get started on Josh Allen.
And then they got Commanders again.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they shut down Jaden Daniels for the season. He hurt that elbow again. They say he's not playing this week.
Correct.
So,
so get this. So we got Jalen Hurts versus Marcus Mariota. That's Alabama, ain't it?
Well, that's potentially. We'll see.
And then Jalen Hurts against Kenny Pickett.
Listen, let's make it more interesting. Jalen Hurts versus Kenny Pickett. Dak Prescott versus Marcus Mariota. You can't lose this week. You have to win out. It's official now.
No. I understand that, but I'm just looking at what we have to do. I can't worry about Dallas. Dallas may or may not make it to the playoffs. We're making it to the playoffs. That
you lose 4 straight. You lose 4 straight. You're making the playoffs?
No, I don't see us losing 4 straight.
I didn't see them losing 3 straight just now.
I neither did I. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I said Alabama. I was thinking of Tua, but Mariota went to Oregon. You are correct. That's my mistake.
You know, like I didn't see them losing these 3 straight games. I thought these were dubs.
So what are you supposed to do? Am I supposed to say now that the Raiders are going to beat the Eagles? Hell no. I don't believe that for a second.
I don't know what I believe at this point. I'm being honest.
This is what I believe. If we bad, the pendulum has to swing back the other way eventually. It has to. And even with the drop balls, how many yards did AJ have? With the ones he did catch?
Can you imagine if he caught them all? That's like 200 yards.
Correct. Jaden would have had about 350 yards if they caught all the balls, with or without his fumbles and the 2 picks. Let's give him the 2 picks because there was 2 balls that he threw.
And let's be honest about this. He should have threw 5 picks in that game.
Yep. The one hit the ground. You're correct.
He should have threw 5 picks in that game.
That was another one where the ball sailed on him. But
I don't know. I guess I just expect more from a team that brought back 10 of 11 starters. And guys have been playing together for a minute now. On top of that,
here's what you got to do. You got to reset because we got 4 more games.
Sure do.
And you can't worry about what happened last week because all it takes is one play. When you get one play, you get a series. When you get a series, you get a drive. When you get a drive, you win the quarter. When you win the quarter, you win the half. When you win the half, you win the game. When you win the game, maybe you get 2 in a row. Then when you win 2 in a row, maybe you get to a streak. And before you know it, you're in the playoffs. One step at a time. That's the one great thing about football. As soon as the play is over, another one's coming.
Yeah, and you can't worry about the previous one.
You can't, and that's why you look at what Jalen. We talked about that earlier. When Jalen, I said he was pressing, because when you play like that, you trying to get a good play, because he was right. As bad as he played, it would have only taken one play to turn that game around, and this whole conversation is different.
I agree, because I said this after the game. I was like, "Yo, you could have wiped away all that bullshit in that game with one play. You win that game, you get that drive, you could wipe away everything that went wrong in that game. Who cares? Who cares?
Do you think Jalen is going to AJ is like, dude, if you would have caught that ball, we could have wiped away all of this shit?
Hell no. I don't even think they're talking about the game anymore. It's over with.
Trust me, man, when I say this. Especially.
I lost your audio again, big doggy.
I think I need to do desk because I'm just touching my desk and my mic is turning off. I don't know what's going on. But you're gonna have issues like this. Happens to every team. Happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get that one last shot, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, because look, the reality is
that as that game was, we got the Raiders the next week. And then whatever happens with the Raiders, then we got Washington. Then we got Buffalo. Then we got Washington again, or however that schedule lays out. But at the end of the day, I don't give a damn what we do, Tom. At the end of the day, in 4 weeks, we're gonna see the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL playoffs. That's the only thing that matters. Because by then, regardless of how it plays out, once you get to the playoffs, then you wipe the slate clean. Whatever you did to get there doesn't matter, because all of this can change on a dime. What happens if what happens if Justin Herbert hurts his hand again, because he was grimacing something awful.
Yeah, they was beating his ass. Shout out that D-line, man. 7 sacks.
What happens if something happens to Matthew Stafford? What happens if all it takes is a one injury to the wrong person? You see what happens when Lane Johnson goes off the field? So that same risk exists for everybody. Everybody.
Yeah, man. So it's one of those things where you gotta just, like you said, ultimately, right? And again, I use this show not just as a way to communicate with you guys, but I also use it as a way to kind of flush out my thoughts. And it also brings my wife a ton of peace when I am out the way getting this shit off. So to move it forward, you're right. At the end of the day, take care of your business. Once the playoffs start, your record as far as like that slate is wiped clean. But we don't forget you can't forget how they got there. It's challenging. Not them. I'm talking about us.
No. I understand what you're saying, and you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. One of the things that you try to figure out is you try to learn what not to do. And to me, that is where sometimes I have a lot of criticism for Patullo and Sirianni. Because sometimes it seems like, every time, and I know this is triggering just for me, I don't know if anybody else feels the same way I do. Every time I see us run that bubble screen with the receiver, that makes me think that they couldn't figure out what play they wanted to run. So that's like the default.
Yes. You are right. And they consistently run certain plays that just comes off as and then when the plays coming in so late, that tells
call number
me
21.
something.
Call number 21.
That tells me something.
Yes.
That tells me the coach, the OC, does not know what they're doing. My wife don't know a lick about football. All she knows is what I tell her, and all she knows is what she see. She said, "Hey, Tone, what's that? She said that clock next to the regular clock." I say it's the play clock. That's how much time they have to run the play, or that's how much time they have, to snap the ball, unless it's a penalty. She said, "Right. They delay a game." She said, "Why the hell are they taking forever to get all these plays in? Why I keep watching the clock turn red on them? Every time it's a second left, and which is also helping the defense time they jump."
Correct.
It's helping everybody. They're never catching anybody off balance. They're never catching anybody slipping. They give opposing defenses a month of Sundays to diagnose their plays and their formations.
Well, watch this. Let us not forget. Roll it back a year. Remember when Kellen Moore used to get blasted for that? We don't know. We don't run no. We were last in the league in running plays with motion. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Last in the league. And they said he don't like to run motion. He likes everybody to be set and where they have to go. So the defense has to adjust to us. Now we motioning all over the place. But we snapping the ball in.
Wait, doesn't motion make people adjust to you?
Yes, it does. But it also puts the pressure on the defense. This is what we're doing. We're not moving. So you got to show us what you're going to do. Because now when you got 10, 12 seconds on the play clock and we ain't moving, are they going to snap the ball? So think about it like this. If right now we got people going in motion, play clock gets down to less than 5 seconds, we got to snap the ball. Defense wins that battle because they don't know and they can move at the last minute. Now, as opposed to we're not going in motion. You got 15 seconds left on the play clock and we snap the ball. Defense is stuck. Defense is stuck at whatever they got. Now, the benefit comes to us. Our chess move wins that battle. We take that piece.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have time to move. Why do you think they made the rule in the first place? Well, when you go and hurry up, we got to pause now to give the defense a chance to match up. Because it was completely unfair. Because the defense is trying to scramble around to get lined up, and then they're trying to figure out hike. They don't know what we doing. We gone. Offense wins that. And we kept winning until they changed the rule. So now what you got the benefit for the offense, if you're already set, ain't nobody shifting, ain't nobody moving. And even if you do shift, you do it early. So you still got about 10 seconds left. So now the pressure's on the defense. Are y'all going to move? Because now if you move, I got 10 seconds to change my offense. I got 10 seconds to audible. Now I got 8 seconds to audible. I still got 7 seconds to audible. Or I could just pick one receiver, give a signal, and give a hot route. We can do whatever we got to do. The pressure is on the defense to figure out what we're going to do, and you still don't know the snap count. So now, because we don't go in motion and we're just static, this is our formation. You can still have about 10 route trees on a formation.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back and forth. And I'm just saying that. I say all of that to say, last year when Kellen Moore wasn't moving, we didn't move all the way to the Super Bowl and whooped ass with it. So there's some merit to that. So you got to look at it from both sides. I don't mind it. I want the best of both worlds. But I'm also find out what works and stick with it. If they change and adjust, then you make different moves. But until that happens,
and that's the problem with Kevin Patullo. He don't even get a defense a chance to like try to figure it out. He just want to keep switching things up because it's like, yo, you're not even leaning into what works. If it's working, keep doing it till they stop it. He never giving him a chance to stop it. He just abandoning the ship super quick. Like he just don't have. Look, man, he ain't got the feel, bro. He ain't got the touch. He ain't got it.
There's got to be a method to your madness. There's got to be a method to your madness. Yeah,
and
I agree. I agree.
And can you and I say there's a method? Can you and I say there's a method? All we know definitively that there's madness.
You know what? I look at it like this. and I feel confident saying it like this.
Mhm.
Kevin Patullo is good. The problem is everybody else is better. Everybody else is better. They figuring them out. You got to change up some things, but what
everybody's better. That's why it's hard for me to say he good. Everybody's better.
Well, I say to me, good is Kleenex. If you in the NFL, you good. If you get that opportunity, you good. Okay. But everybody in the NFL is good. Everybody is next level.
Fair enough.
People, even when you call somebody a scrub, ain't no scrubs in the NFL. It's just that everybody else is that much better.
Better than him.
I don't think people really realize that. I don't think people understand that when they trying to call somebody a bum and he sucks. And I was like,
oh yeah. I don't believe in that. Yeah, I don't believe in that because it's like the NBA, right? People like to call it, man, you on the bench, you ain't doing nothing. Yeah, that 15, that 12 guy on the bench will smoke you.
Exactly.
That 12 guy on the bench will give you 40 if you play around with him.
I tweeted this today on social media. I was like, I wish everybody on ESPN, everybody at WIP, everybody at some sports talk location, whether it's ESPN, Fox, sports talk radio around the country. I wish every last one of them dudes and women would actually coach for a year. And I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about coach high school, where you really got to be organized. You really got to look at the type of talent you have and formulate a game plan based on the talent. And I'll be curious as to how well they would do. And I say that because then and only then could they actually realize how supremely difficult it is. It is supremely difficult. We can say Kevin Patullo sucks all we want. Until you've been in that situation, until you're on the field and you're looking at everybody run 100 miles an hour like this, and you got to decipher what's going on and what defenses they running and figure out which of your offensive linemen is winning their battles, which one is losing, and adjust to that. And then you don't spend all of that time in the film room and you got to flush all of that down the toilet because everything you saw, they not doing. So now you got to come up with something. That's why they get paid all of that money. So I take umbrage when people say this guy sucks or that guy sucks. It's like you don't understand what's going on and you don't understand how good these are. I think, like I said, Kevin Patullo was good. Everybody else is just better. It's like playing Madden against your little cousin. He good for his age. And then you get somebody that knows how to stop that play he want to keep spamming. It's a whole different ball game.
Right.
I'm good at chess. I'm decent at chess. But if I play somebody who really knows how to play, bro, I got about 10, 12 moves and I'm done. Checkmate. That doesn't mean I don't know how to play.
Right.
I just don't know how to play well. I think that's what Kevin Patullo is. You got to be good to even get to that position.
Yeah, you got to be competent in some level, right?
Absolutely. Let's roll back the clock a little bit. Does everybody remember the vitriol, the ridicule, all of the stuff that everybody was saying about Nick Sirianni when they hired him? This fool is in Philadelphia talking about flowers and this, that, and the other. And the only thing he did was come in and prove his worth. What the hell is he going to do as a CEO coach and this, that, and the other? His offense is terrible, and everybody had everything to say. We wanted him fired after Tampa Bay. Do we win the Super Bowl if we fire him?
Not at all, man. It's a group effort.
Does a new coach come in and get the best out of Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley? Do we even make the trade for Saquon Barkley if we had a different coach? How does that work out? Everything changes when you take one piece off the table. I hear these idiots on the radio now talking about, is Jalen Hurts time up as Philadelphia quarterback? If y'all don't shut the hell up.
That's all. See, and that's why I've been avoiding a lot of stuff this week. Is because, like,
dude, sometimes
I can't let myself even entertain. You ever listen to something and you feel yourself losing brain cells? You ever just feel it?
Well, and I understand it now, but sometimes and that's what caused me when I said what I said. I wish all of these idiots could coach for a year so they can see how hard it really is. Where you get to sit up on your microphone with impunity and say what you want to say, and you have no repercussions. None. Your job is to stir up trouble. You got the easiest gig in the world. So when you say what you think should happen, when you say, is it time to see Tanner McKee? What do you think the defenses are going to do with Tanner McKee? Tanner McKee's played one freaking game as a pro. What do you think defenses are going to do? You know what they're going to do? They're going to blitz off the edges, make him throw the ball quick, or make him run because he can't move worth a damn.
He can't move. He's a backup. He's a backup for a reason. And look, I'm not entertaining. I can't even add credence to some of these. Yeah, is it time to bench Jalen Hurts? The fact that he was even asked that, the fact that Nick Sirianni was even asked that question in the press conference is like, and you know what some reporters may say, well, I have a responsibility to ask a tough question. No, that's not a tough question. That's not a tough question because you knew
in most situations.
You knew what the answer was going to be.
Yeah, when the quarterback is benched or a move like that has to be made, don't get it twisted. The coach has to talk to the GM first. The GM,
especially when you're paying him $50 million a season.
Exactly.
Let's not. And this again. People just want to get the salacious questions out, and they want to just get the response they get. That isn't a Dick Sirianni call by any stretch of the imagination.
Not even close.
They're paying Jalen Hurts $50 million a year. Jalen Hurts is a former second-team All-Pro. Jalen Hurts is a two-time Pro Bowler, I believe. Jalen Hurts is a Burt Bell Award winner. Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP. You better pack your bags if you bench that man.
And then who you gonna get to replace him?
And who you can get to replace him? Who? Sam Howell, Tanner McKee,
and whoever you get, if they don't get to the Super Bowl, that's a failure. My guy went twice in 3 years and was the best player on the field in both of them.
And to your point, when you zoom out that way, because it's very easy to get wrapped up in 1 week of football.
Exactly.
Because when the playoffs start and the result is a result, you think the team that won the Super Bowl is worried about what happened in week 6 on that third down?
Exactly.
Let's call it what it is. You think us as Eagles fans is worried about what happened on that one turnover in the Buccaneers game in 2024? You think we can't worry about that? So to your point, get in the dance. Now the challenge is finding a prom queen in the midst of all those ducks. That's the challenge. Find the prom queen. It's like where's Waldo? Getting in the playoffs and trying to win the Super Bowl is like where's Waldo? Who can find him first? Who can get there first? Who can take care of their business first? Right? And once you get into the dance, everybody got as equal shot as anybody else.
Everybody got an equal shot.
Once you get into the dance, now are some teams more prepared than the other? Okay,
absolutely.
Are some teams, do some teams sit maybe at a more advantageous position? Maybe, but everyone has an equal shot at this thing because of the numbers game.
Yeah, right. And you got to remember, man, because I see my man in the chat, and he said, what did he say? Said, love the Eagles for life, but Jalen Hurts is a $51 million POS. And I'm like, okay, so who would you want as a quarterback?
Then you don't let the Eagles to death. Then you don't.
This is why I made that stat. This is why I made that stat last year. 45,000 passing yards on the couch, on the bench in Cancun for the playoffs. 45,000. Did not make the playoffs. The only reason people say that is because he's not throwing for 300, 400, 500 yards. Now he gets to be the low-hanging fruit now because now we're going through the stretch. We're going through the stretch that every quarterback goes through. Stafford been through it. Josh Allen been through it. Mahomes been through it. Dak been through it.
Mahomes going through it now.
Goff been through it. Everybody goes through this. How come When Josh Allen threw them 3 interceptions that got his offensive coordinator fired, did nobody want to throw him out? Forgetting the fact that his first 2 seasons, they thought he was a bust.
Oh, wait. Hold on, wait. Was that the angle then? You think Jalen Hurts, you think he was – hold on, wait. Maybe we're on to something now. Maybe Jalen is playing 3D chess. Maybe he maybe if I throw these 4 picks.
Nah. We don't play chess like that, bro.
I could probably get Kevin Patullo the fuck out of here.
Nah, that don't happen, bro. That don't happen. We stuck with Kevin Patullo, man.
Jalen playing 4D chess, y'all. No. He playing 5D chess.
we stuck with Kevin Patullo. But again, I will say this, and this is why I go back to the execution part. As bad as Kevin Patullo looks, or as bad as you think he looked, in most of these games, we've had opportunities to win, and it was execution, not the play calling. Now, if it's 4th and 16, and we got to get a first down, he calls a bubble screen, then I'm cussing out Kevin Patullo, but that's not the case. So we've had opportunities, whether you love him or hate him, whether you agree with what he's calling or not. Y'all know how I feel about his run calling. But every game, with the exception of maybe 1 or 2, we have had opportunities to win, and the guys on the field did not take advantage of it. That's why we lost that game in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why we lost to Denver. That's why we lost last week. And most of those games, I'll take 2 games off the board because 2 games we got beat soundly. The other 3, we should have won those games. We had opportunities to win, take the game back, and player execution failure is why we didn't win.
Can you put up Twiz Jigga's post? It's the second one from the bottom, I believe. 6 years. He says 6 years, and Jalen Hurts hasn't improved his game one bit. He's still the same guy out of college. If that's what you believe, you have not been watching football.
We'll agree to disagree, bro.
You have not been watching football. If you think Jalen Hurts is the same guy from the 2021 season where he got his first start, his first year starting, then to now, you are sorely misguided.
I wish
I may be emotional, but damn.
I wish Saquon would have had 150 yards rushing in the Super Bowl, because then there would be merit to Jalen getting carried. Because when you get to the biggest game in the biggest spotlight and you have the best game and you outplay the best in the business for the second time, what else do you need to see? So again, I'll say this again, Twiz. You take all of that. The long ball is overrated. You take all of them quarterbacks that's throwing for 4,500, 5,000. Most of those quarterbacks are home during the playoffs. When did all of a sudden winning games? Well, we done had this conversation before. Everybody wants it to look how they want it to look. Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to. Everybody wanted to look the way they wanted to look. And that is never going to change until Jalen Hurts has a season where he averages 290 yards a game and 3 touchdowns. Nobody's going to ever respect him, even with the Super Bowl. Even though he went twice. They're not going to respect him. And I'm good with that. My happiness in my team, your approval is not required. And just like I said it last year, y'all want to make all of them lists about Jalen Hurts. Y'all go ahead and make them lists. Is he not elite no more? Is all of that kind of stuff. I wish I could list all of the elite quarterbacks who ain't never sniffed the Super Bowl.
Y'all really not watching the games. Like, you can tell guys are so liking on their priors that they're clearly not watching the games. They're clearly not listening to professionals talk about it. Like
this is a fantasy stats world we live in now.
Yeah, it's nuts. Let's get to these super chats, man, and start to close the show out, man. I'm losing brain cells reading some of these chats, man.
People disrespectful saying bench Hurts, go Birds. Hail to the no. Malik, I'm with you, bro. They crazy. They crazy. Hey, Linda, I wish people would acknowledge that the years that Jalen and the offense play better is when there is a competent offensive coordinator. You're not wrong, or at least one that's been here longer than a year.
Mhm.
You're not wrong. We were talking about the interception of John Dotson.
Yeah. You pulled that one. Shout out to Dagger with the super chat. We appreciate you. Yep.
Why I say that though? Not absolving the players, but when it's a structural issue as to why we can't consistently generate rhythm. Surely 4 hitches or 4 verts is relatively easy to scheme against for professional DCs. You are correct. You are correct. And that's why I say Kevin Patullo is not absolved of everything. There's some scheme stuff in there, but at the end of the day, we still had opportunities to win with the plays that we got, and we didn't. So for me, the whole fire Kevin Patullo things only goes so far. The second and third INT, I think, was a 5 hitch route. Read the fuck out of that pass to Smitty. Smitty can't fall. Yes, Smitty fell on that route.
But also the DB kind of bullied him to the ball.
He did.
And also
that's the detriment of being a Slim Reaper, being only 170 pounds.
Troy Aikman even was like, yo, this is pedestrian. Troy Aikman flat out said, yo, what I'm watching from this Eagles offense is pedestrian.
Yeah.
And then when he finally saw Jalen Hurts starting to take over and get into that, he said, okay, we're getting. He said, all right, now they're starting to shoot things together. Like Troy Aikman, I love the way Troy Aikman dissects his games, man. He calls it how he sees it. Yeah. He said he flat out called it pedestrian. So
a lot of people have called it that.
Yeah, man. 24 Birds. He said, respect, brothers. We appreciate you, man, for always donating on both channels, man. We don't take that for granted.
Yeah, he hit it back on both channels. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, shout out to you, big dog. All right, where we at? We got
that was it, I think.
It's another one that came through.
Oh, William Johnson.
William Johnson with the dub. Thank you, William Johnson. I really do appreciate you, my man. He says here, good show, brothers. There's 3 guarantees in life: death, taxes, and QB double standards. Yeah, of course.
You ain't never lied. Bro.
People make excuses for who they like. You see, they like to absolve guys for not getting it done and doing what they're paid to do. Instead, they want to give them credit for just winning their fantasy league. They want to see. You see, that's what they want to do. They want to crown guys who win their parlays, but they don't want to crown a guy who won the crown jewel that your favorite continues to fail to do, no matter what talent you put around them. People always say, "What is Jalen Hurts without talent? What is any quarterback without talent?"
I hate that.
What's any quarterback without talent? You see, what I respect about Jalen Hurts is that at the very least, when you put the talent around him, you know what you're going to get.
You know exactly
a Super Bowl victory, a Lombardi trophy. You see, it's a lot of guys that no matter what you put around them, they can't get it done because they ain't got the fucking stones. But meanwhile, Jalen Hurts, you put the pieces around them. 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win, Lombardi trophy, Super Bowl MVP. I know what my guy can do when you put the pieces around him. Do you know what Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson, or do you know what any of these other guys, Joe Burrow, do you know what what they love to do when they got the pieces around them? They like to fold in the playoffs.
Tone, that was my question. You look at Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, you look at Patrick Mahomes, you look at Sam Darnold, you look at Lamar, you look at Jared Goff, you look at Joe Burrow, you look at I'm trying to think of another quarterback that'll probably be in the playoffs. If they don't win the Super Bowl, are they still considered elite?
Right. And on top of that, you think those guys would rather have all those yards and not win the big one, or have about 1,000 less passing yards and win the big one?
I'm gonna add it up again when we get to the playoffs. I'm gonna add up how many quarterbacks. I'm gonna take the starting quarterbacks that don't make it to the playoffs, and I'm gonna add up their passing yards for the year.
Yeah, man.
That's a bogus stat, but that's what it's come down to. Everybody wants the look. Did you ever see what's that? I don't know what the movie is, but I keep seeing it like on social media, like on TikTok or whatever. It's a scene with Sean Penn. He looks like an old dude. He's driving some girl somewhere, and the girl asks him, if guys love women so much, why do men screw around on them?
I know what you're talking about.
And Sean
Penn was like, I saw that scene. That's a good movie.
They like the look of it. They like the look of having the family and what everybody thinks of them if it looks good. And that's the same way with quarterbacks. They just want it to look good. They just want their dude to throw for 4,500, 4,800 and a bunch of touchdowns because they can always say, well, he had a great year and we got this piece. We're missing this piece. We put all of that together. And we showed you there were other ways to win besides throwing the ball 1,000 yards a week. And we did it twice. So again, people that want to think it's insulting or because Jalen Hurts is not elite or he's not in your top 10 or he's not in your top 5 or he's not in your top 20.
So
whatever, you can have it.
So he's forever enshrined in football history.
Bruh, holler at me when your quarterback get one of these. Holler at me then.
He not in your top 5. Okay. Last time I checked, he was the last quarterback standing last year.
Thank you. Was Nick Foles elite?
Hey. Last time I checked, man, it don't matter how you get it done. It's been plenty of times where something happened in that house as a kid, and mom or pop, they said, listen, I don't know what I heard just now. I don't know what you're doing down there. But whatever it is, when I come down there, it better be fixed. So
Facts.
when it comes to this NFL shit, best believe. I don't know what y'all doing all year. I don't know how many passing yards you're going to throw for. I don't know how many passing touchdowns you're going to have. I don't know how many turnovers. I don't know how many wins you're going to have. But I know one thing for sure. You better get me that Lombardi. You think the Giants fans care that Eli Manning was mediocre those 2 seasons all year and then went to the playoffs and then won the Super Bowl? You think they care he's mediocre them years? You think they care? Man, miss me with that. Marcus, let's close this thing out, man.
Yeah, man.
Listen, as always, I appreciate your insight and I always appreciate you providing me with a ton of nuance, a ton of context, a ton of perspective, because I do value your opinion to the max, man. And I definitely don't take it for granted. You know, your experience, everything that you've put your mind, body, and soul into when it comes to this sport, I value that. So again, tremendous work today, as always. Appreciate you for, working me into the schedule. I know Wednesdays typically aren't when we do this, but I appreciate you. I appreciate the viewership. You guys have been phenomenal today. And that's all I have. Marcus, any final words?
Listen, man, everybody just take a breath. And you got to trust and believe that they are trying to solve the problem. Now, it might not manifest the way we want it, but at the end of the day, we just need to have more points than the other guys do. That's what it comes down to. How we get it, how we do it, I don't care. I don't. But once we get there, once we get to the playoffs, slate is wiped clean, and then we can figure it out. All right. So just relax. We'll be
yes,
all right.
sir. Breathe easy. Breathe. Wait, how the classic go? Slow down. Yep. Slow down. On that note, y'all, we appreciate y'all. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you guys are.
Your hips is getting big.
Make sure you guys smash that like button.
Oh man, you went brand Nubian on me.
Are subscribe to Pro Fan Talk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Subscribe to Chalk It Up Sports. He's Markus Thomas. I am Tony DeShields II. This has been the Bald Eagles Podcast, and that's how we carrying it, y'all. Fly Eagles fly.
Go Birds.
In the city of Philly, where the birds take flight, Eagle swag on the rise each and every night. Tone and Markus got the scoop ready to ignite. From the lanes of South Street to the Broad Street lights. Dashing like a running back, hitting every play. Flying guys in the zone, never led astray. Talking touchdown. talking game day. Huddle around the mic, hear what they gotta say. I like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tony Markus always standing by. Bringing the heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry. Fly like an eagle soaring in the sky. Tony Markus always standing by. Bringing the heat, call it do or die. Philly squad, hear the battle cry.
out.